What up, y'all? Day 27. For all those watching this video on replay and not live, go ahead and go to the 2-minute mark. That's when the video will start. But I'm gonna give it some time so people can get up in here. Switch my shit around. There we go. So we got about a minute and 40 seconds. All right, I got 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. So today's video is kind of a spinoff from day 2. Day 2 was couples that are living in separate homes, but yet they're in fully committed relationships. I couldn't understand how that can be, but whatever works for those people, right? So go back and watch that video if you want to kind of get caught up. But anyways, hello to the person in the chat. That's Mom Dukes. All right, I'm gonna play this video. It's from Tony Baker, the comedian. His Instagram is at Tony Baker Comedy or just Tony Baker. I can't remember.
Do I want to live with somebody again?
Hold on, let me go.
Okay. And then I'm getting to a point now. It's just like, man, do I want to live with somebody again? Because I've been living alone. I like it. I like it. So now it's kind of scary because, I'm definitely open to another long-term relationship. I'm open to marriage. I'm open to all that. But now I'm worried because it's just like, but this live alone is just fantastic. It's fantastic. And this ain't a knock on nobody. But living alone is a good-ass time, man. I can just do whatever I want. There's no judgment. There's no me worrying about somebody else and how they feeling, it's just me and them damn cats. And fuck what they got to say. Fuck what the cats got to say.
I guess women ain't the only one that be alone with cats.
I'm out here doing my little routine. It's peaceful. And that's what scares me. It's like, man, you can really just get like, yo, I'm good.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I might come back to it. But the thing is, so the old video, like I said, was couples living apart in fully committed relationships. I don't see how that, works, but teach his own, I guess. But he says in this that now just a little background on him. He does have kids. He actually lost one too, which is kind of sad. I think his kid got shot, but either way, he has kids. So for him to feel like, okay, and obviously the relationship with the mother didn't work. So for him to feel like, I like living alone. It's a good time. I don't have to answer to anybody. I could do whatever I want, whenever I want in my home. I get that. You know, I understand that. I think this thing works more so for people who A, don't ever want to have kids, or B, um has already been in a relationship and is unsuccessful. And they just like, you know what, I'm cool. Like it's peaceful and I understand it. Am I that type of person? I don't know. I don't really think so. I don't think I want to be alone completely. Um, I am somewhat difficult to live with because I expect stuff a certain way. Like I don't like a messy person. You know what I mean? So that's going to be kind of hard to deal with at times because I don't really like that type of stuff. But either way, living alone. I mean, if you could get to the point where you living alone and you enjoy living alone, I guess I guess that's the dream, right? That you enjoy your company enough that you don't need anybody else. Now the thing is, there's a lot of people who hear that video who really aren't shit. Have a lot of things to work on. That's why they're alone. They really are yearning to be with somebody, but they're alone because they really just no one wants to deal with them. And for those people, they hear this video and think, that this is me. I'm cool with being alone, knowing deep down inside they bitter and they unhappy. Don't take that video and think, that's you. You need to just work on changing some things. You know what I mean? And maybe you can find that person. Sometimes it's just you. But if you really are at peace being alone, that's cool. Now he said he's open to marriage, open to a long-term relationship. I don't see how you can be. I feel like they conflict. If you really love living by yourself that much, and you really, I mean, really enjoy how he made it seem like it's a good time, like, why would you want to live with anybody? Why would you want to get in a long-term relationship? Now, unless you're doing that so-called long-term or marriage, how day two video was, which is couples who are committed to each other or married to each other but live in separate homes. And I think he mentioned something about that in the video. I just stopped it early, but that's kind of weird to me. There's part of committing to someone is sharing all those experiences, but for you to be like, all right, you go home now, like you can stay here but go home now. That's crazy. But I don't, like I said, I don't think with his mindset, if you enjoy living by yourself that much, then you shouldn't jump into a relationship where y'all gonna live together. You might as well let that go. You know what I mean? Because what do you your time alone is more important than anything. You don't really care to share your space or anything with other people. So why do it? Why do it to that person? 'Cause all you're gonna do is end up dragging them down. They're gonna end up feeling bad over, just being in your space, and you're gonna be bitter towards them. So you might as well just let that one go. But if you love living on your own, ain't nothing wrong with that. But just know that it's truly that you just love living on your own, and not that you really want it, but you can't seem to find anybody. So now you just convince yourself, oh, I love this. Because a lot of people will do that. I'm gonna play some more of the video.
Because a lot of times we feel like we got to rush, we got to get in a relationship, we got to move in together immediately. You ain't got to move in together immediately. Take your sweet ass time living in separate quarters. Yeah, they can spend the night, you can have your little sleepovers, but then, you know what I'm saying? All right, you going home? Cool. And you get your own little space, your own little breathability, your own vibe going, your own routines. You ain't got nobody nitpicking what you cooking every night. Let's say you eating the same thing every night. You ain't got nobody nitpicking. You
That's
eating
me.
that again? Man, watch out, man. Let me enjoy this. I'm not bothering you. Let me enjoy my little routine. I like this again. I like the same food over and over. Let me have that. You on the game again? Let me have this. Let me enjoy this. I'm having fun.
Maybe it's the partner he picking. Maybe it's because if I'm with somebody and they constantly like, you eating that again, or you on the game again, I will feel, some type of way too. Like, yo, let me do what I'm doing. If I want to eat, because I eat the same thing. Those who know me know I eat the same thing every day. So if I want to eat the same thing every day, let me do that. Why is it bothering you, that I'm eating that? But I think it's just a part of that. I think he's gotten to that point because the people he's chosen have always kind of just maybe nagged him about little things that was just unnecessary. I'm not gonna get on you about you eating the same thing unless the thing you eating is unhealthy. And if the thing you eating is unhealthy, I don't know if I want to be with you anyways. Like if you just constantly feeding yourself bad stuff, because part of being in that relationship is having someone to grow old with. When you sick, being alone is not fun. I don't get sick often. I'm kind of sick right now, but I don't get sick often. But when you're sick and you're alone, when you're going through something and you're alone, it's not that enjoyable. You know what I mean? There's nobody for you to comfort you. So growing old and being alone, it's not something that I feel we as people should want to strive for. See, it all sounds good and well for him right now because I think he's like in his 40s. But when you get to the age where you're like in your 70s and 80s and everything is hurting, and it's gonna be different. Let's see what all right. So it says living alone can get a bit lonely from time to time. Having someone to do things with is good, but when someone has been alone for an extended period of time, it becomes really difficult to change. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times being the reason some people are alone is because they didn't want to change a lot of things before. Think about that. They didn't want to change and compromise on certain things before. This is how they end up alone. Then they're alone for an extended period of time. And then they really not going to want to change because they even more set in their ways. So for the young people watching this, that's going to watch, learn to adjust and compromise and figure out what is is really something that's just a no-no for you versus what kind of bothers you, but you could kind of overlook it. You know what I mean? Because no one is perfect. So uh but yeah, been there sick and alone. Yeah. Being alone, the longer if you're not prepared to adjust, that's gonna end up having you be alone. And then after you go 10 years, 15 years alone, now it's hard for you to bring somebody else into your life. But yet at some point, you're not gonna want to be alone. Once you get to a certain age, you're not gonna want to be alone, being sick, being in pain. I remember one time I threw my back out and I was in a relationship during that time. And it wasn't a living girlfriend, but I was, she was staying over, or whatever. And I threw my back out playing basketball and it was bad. Like I could not move for anything. I could barely turn. It took me about 15 minutes just to turn over in the bed. Couldn't get up to pee. It was a wrap. Luckily, she was there and she was willing to stay because she was bringing me the cup so I could pee in a cup. You know what I mean? Because I had no way of moving. Now I can't imagine that, when I'm 75, 80 years old, 85 years old, and just having nobody. Now, here's an adjustment you can do though. For the people who feel like, oh, I just want to be alone, get your bread up, right? Save your money. Don't if you enjoy your time alone, the way to make it happen is really be frugal, really invest and have your money. So when you get older, you can hire a nurse full time. That's the only way. So if you don't want anybody living with you, you can hire a nurse. You know what I mean? Because they even if it is a live-in nurse, they have to do everything you ask them because it's the rules. But that way you can have a live-in nurse so they can take care of you, or just have a nurse when you get sick. Like, hey, I need to call up a nurse because I'm sick, and the nurse can come over and take care of you. But if you ain't got your bread, you find you somebody. You need to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Let's go to hold on. Let me see what this thing. Totally agree. I'm 65 and
I'm having a good time.
hold up. I'm really not willing to give up my space. Let me go to some of the comments. Give me a second. Go to these comments and see what they saying in the comments. All right. I'm pause that. So all right. Those 2 a.m. video game sessions hit different when you're alone. See, these are people speaking like because they're young. They not thinking. It goes to show you how many people actually think about the future. I'm constantly, when it comes to my health and fitness, family, and finances, I'm always thinking about the future. You know what I mean? Living alone is fine, but nothing beats waking up to the smell of breakfast already being cooked for you. Yep. Being old and alone is the only part I worry about. And that, okay, so the last two people were males. This one is a male too. I just want to see the differences between what males say and what females say. Another male, it's good until you get sick. Nothing worse than being sick by yourself and nobody to help you. Another male, I love that my house is quiet. The only mess is my mess. Once you get used to your space, it's undefeated. Yes, this is okay. This is a woman. Yes, this is true. That's why it's so many singles. No one wants to give up their peace for anyone, for any peace. How peaceful is it though? Right? That's what I wonder. I mean, because it's being lonely, like when you want companionship, when you want to be able to show some affection and receive some affection, when you want to get your sexual needs satisfied, is that peaceful? I don't know. I don't think personally that's peaceful. Sexual frustration is not peaceful to me. You know, maybe because my age, I don't know, but that's not peaceful to me. So it's a trade-off, right? Unless you just hiring people for everything, if you know what I mean. Living alone is peaceful, very different from lonely. Okay. But would you say not having a significant other is, and here's the thing. This is another thing that people say, right? They talk about living alone. When you live alone, you have to live alone. That means no pets included because they're in your space. Granted, you have a little more control over them, but they're in your space. The only thing is they can't talk back to you. So really, is it really that you just don't want to deal with people? For those people who feel like that you don't want to deal with people, you don't want somebody telling you about your shit. Because a dog or a cat can't do that, but they're still in your space. They sometimes shit in your space, even if they train. If they have a stomach ache or something, they'll go through the garbage sometimes. They'll throw up. You still got to feed them. You still got to take them out. You got to show them love. They can still knock things over. They can still mess up your furniture. All of that stuff animals still do. So if you're going to be alone, you got to truly be alone to say, I enjoy my peace. Even he said, it's just me and the cats, and the cats ain't got nothing to say. That's the problem. It's you're not willing to compromise. You're not willing to, you don't want to be told, like Tony Baker, he don't want to be told about how to make himself better. Most of the people who feel like I just want to be alone don't typically want to, in my opinion, want to be told how they can be better. And they usually don't show themselves, to be like accountable for a lot of things. So I don't know, because don't have a cat, don't have a dog. If you really want to be alone, you shouldn't have anything. Let's see what my pet is different. Yeah, the pet don't talk back. That's the reason. The pet can't tell you, yo, what you doing? You're not handling this business, or you're not doing this, or you're not doing that. So you got to be, you don't really want to be alone because you got to have a pet. To truly be alone, that means you're alone. You don't want to have another person who has an opinion who could tell you about yourself that you have to work on correcting and becoming better for. So your peace is really, in a sense, not being accountable. Oh, sorry about that. I got a message. I forgot to turn it on silent. I'm gonna come back to this real quick and just check this. Okay. So it says, I live with my folks for a long ass time. And when I moved out, my space, my peace, and quiet is very precious to me. I don't mind sleepovers. I don't mind bouncing back and forth from my place to yours or come see you again later on or vice versa, because honestly, that's fun to me. And then when I'm done and my cup is super full with your TLC, I go back to my own life, work and hustle, etc. This is a woman, by the way. I see you next weekend, next date night, homebody, hoochie highness, daddy. What? I don't know what that means. Don't make it intolerable, but don't make it difficult. Make it fun, make it flexible, and make it exciting. I second this message. And then the other thing is, so she says she likes, this person said they like bouncing back and forth. But if that person doesn't like it, then what? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they want to see you more often. Now they got to go off your time. You know? So sounds a little to me like people who are who just want to live alone are more so just selfish, which I think. I don't know. That's what it sounds like. I just think outside the box. I'm not saying that this is the correct way or anything like that. I just like to think outside the box and challenge thoughts and stuff like that, just to get people thinking. You know what I mean? Have conversations going, have you really think and see how you can improve. That's what this whole channel is about. It's about elevation, right? So we need to normalize being in committed relationships, but not residing together. Why? That's crazy. That's what the day 2 video is about, right? That was a woman, by the way. I need to read what some of the responses are. All right. So the previous comment, that long one that I read you, I'm gonna read what some of the people responded back. There was like 100 dead on. What's the TLDR? I don't know what that is. Preach, just read it, takes 60 seconds. A powerful word here. Okay. We need to normalize being in committed relationships, but not residing together. And that one is exactly, I'm not built that way and could never understand how people get in a relationship and immediately want to move in together. Always boggle my mind. That was never me. They want to move in together because they enjoy each other's company. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy seeing you on a regular basis. Now, is it a good thing to do? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to spend a little bit more time getting to know each other before you move in to see, you know, because if you move in, it's usually at least a year commitment if you move into an apartment, right? So you might want to spend a little bit more time before you just move in. But that's what it is. It's just people want to, it's like, yo, if I love you this much and I care about you and I enjoy spending time with you, you know, why do I want to leave? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I ain't gonna want to do things on my own, but I'm just saying, why would I want to leave you every night? Why would I not want to come home to you every night? You know, why would you not want to come home to me every night? If you can't tolerate me that much, then maybe you shouldn't be with me. You know what I'm saying? But usually it's because you got to be held accountable. And people who, I'm telling you, think about it. If you don't, if you enjoy your peace, it's usually because someone is holding you accountable. It's not always just them. Sometimes it's someone holding you accountable. You point out things on them, they point out things on you. You don't like it. I gotta go. The best way to get to know someone is by living together. That is true. And then to a certain extent, we are selfish. Yes. I'm glad, you know, you can admit that, because I think that's what it is. It is a level of, you know, of being selfish, wanting to be in a relationship and then, still living on your own. Like you're in a fully committed relationship and then you on your own. It's crazy to me. Damn, got a piece of hair, mama. All right. They say a lot of people are doing that now. They're married but live in their own individual homes. It's crazy. First of all, like I said in day 2 video, part of being together and living together is to build together. That's part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's the commitment and building together, building, you paying $2,000 mortgage or rent over here. I'm paying $2,000 mortgage or rent over here. We live in separate. That's $4,000. We could come together, be in a home that's, we paying 3,000 and save 1,000. But no, you want to go live on your own, not including utilities and all of these different things, and then the gas going back and forth to see each other. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. But I guess it can work for some people, but you got to go into it and know who you're dealing with. Now this is going to have to be a conversation that people start having early. They're going to have to start asking, hey, what is your stance on living together? Like early in the dating process, what is your stance? Do you want to live alone for the rest of your life, or do you want to live together? Because if it's one person that's like, yo, I really just enjoy my peace, I want to live alone, you cannot be with somebody who wants to be together. Because even if you hit them with the, oh yeah, we could just, stay at each other's house, nah, because then you just, at some point, you're just gonna be like, yo, I'm done. I want to go home for a week and be by myself, So it's gonna create problems. Somebody say you pay yours, I pay mine. Yeah, I like where you're headed. And then what happened to, you had these things, some of these women up here that not on here specifically, but talking about why would I go 50-50 with a man if I could go 100 by myself, right? So the whole purpose is like, well, why would I even be in that relationship if I'm going 50-50? Well, if you got your own place, you going 100%, but yeah, you're still in a relationship. Are you expecting that man to pay your bills? You know what I mean? Like, you want to live on your own, and now you expecting him to pay your bills as well? That's another question. I should have put that in there in this thing and see if anybody would have responded. All right, next person is a woman. She says, this is not in response, it's just a separate comment. Basically, until your knees give out and you need someone to care for you. Yeah. In my case, it was my back. You know what I mean? My back went out and I was like, oh shit. Like, I wasn't even old. You know what I mean? I was 38 when it happened. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I can't see myself being 78 and that happening. You know what I mean? I'll be in trouble. Been living alone for 3.5 years and I can't see myself living with anyone again. That's a woman, I think. I don't know. Robert, this is a man. I'm 44 and single, but I love it. I do what I want with no nagging, no complaining, no false accusations. It's a wonderful thing living alone and having the peace you deserve and always wanted. I doubt I'll ever be in a serious relationship again. Okay, but his thing is he don't even want to be in a relationship. But no nagging, no complaining, no false accusations. So here's like I said, I was married for a while. I don't recall being nagged a lot. I wasn't messy though, so it was really nothing for her to like constantly nag and say, yo, I need you to do this and do that and do this and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I grew up proper. My mother taught me how to be clean. You know what I'm saying? So when I got in a relationship, that was never the case. I probably did it more to her than she did it to me, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But I was clean, you know what I mean? So I was taught well, but no false accusations. Like, what the hell you got going on? That's another thing that I never experienced. I never experienced false accusations constantly, or anything when I was married. That didn't happen. So this person must have given reasons for a person to accuse you of stuff, or they just chose a person who was super jealous. You know what I mean? So you got to choose your partner better, or don't give them reason to even feel that way, because even a false accusation could be false for that particular accusation, but it doesn't mean that you didn't give them reason to accuse you of these things from past situations. You feel what I'm saying? All right, let me see. What else? Living alone is fine, but nothing beats waking up to the So the thing about Instagram is, I don't know if you ever noticed, but they only give y'all certain comments to read. Like next time you see a long comment thread, read a little bit, and then as you keep scrolling, it's gonna show you the same stuff again. So it's kind of dangerous because the algorithm is set up so much where it only shows you things that I guess they could tell what you're gonna be engaged with. You know what I mean? Whether it's something that's negative or positive, whatever. So for all the people that came in, because there's a lot of people up in here, I'm gonna play this video one more time for y'all. Give me 1 second though. I gotta check up on some of these things over here I got going on. But yeah, I don't agree with this. Well, no, I can't say I disagree, because if you want to live alone, you want to live alone. But be careful with who you date. You know what I mean? Let them know, like, hey, look, I like you and all, but out the gate, you need to let them know I don't ever plan on living with anybody again. I don't really enjoy it. It's not for me. So that way, there's no confusion. You feel what I'm saying? My fault, people. Give me 1 second. I'll be trying to bring you out this stuff while I got other things going on at the same time, but trying to stay consistent, because it's a little difficult doing multitasking. All right. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna play the video one more time because there's a lot of people in here. Shout out to everybody who's watching, because I think this is probably the most I ever got in one live stream. Oh, where is it at? Here you go.
And then I'm getting to a point now, it's just like, man, do I want to live with somebody again? Because I've been living alone. I like it. So now it's kind of scary because, I'm definitely open to another long-term relationship. I'm open to marriage. I'm open to all that. But now I'm worried because it's just like, but this live alone is just fantastic. It's fantastic. And this ain't a knock on nobody. But living alone is a good ass time, man. I can just do whatever I want. There's no judgment. There's no me worrying about somebody else and how they feeling, it's just me and the damn cats. And fuck what they got to say. Fuck what the cats got to say. I'm out here doing my little routine. It's peaceful. And that's what scares me. It's like, man, you can really just get like, yo, I'm good.
So I don't understand why he says that's what scares me. I mean, if you enjoy it, why are you scared? You know why he's scared? Because he know one day you're gonna grow old and you're gonna want somebody. You know what I mean? You're gonna want somebody there when you're old, and you can't fully take care of yourself. Things start hurting a little bit more, So that's why he's scared. People don't be thinking about that. But Joshua, I see in the comments you said, where is it at? Living alone after divorce is fantastic. How long have you been divorced? You've been divorced 4 years. So I've been divorced 7 years. It's fantastic. Why is it fantastic? I know why it was fantastic for me, but my reasons is different. My reasons was because after being divorced, I was out there playing the field. So of course I want to be alone, right? Because I don't want to be in a committed relationship. I'm out here, having fun, dating and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I could bring whoever I want home because I don't live with anybody. I'm not in a committed relationship. But what's your reasons? Now it's just me and my youngest daughter, and I enjoy living by myself. Okay. But you don't fully live by yourself, because I live with, my sons, they was with me the whole time. So I wasn't quite by myself, but when you say by yourself, you literally just mean not having a person in your bed, basically, because you still live with your daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying. But what's the difference? What do you feel was different from? Is it because the relationship was bad? You know what I'm saying? Or is it like just certain things about the fact that I was living with someone, and then because I was living with them, I wasn't at peace? Or was it the relationship that had you, like, if she was living somewhere else, let me retract what I'm saying. If she was living somewhere else and y'all was still in that relationship, do you think it would have worked that way? You start to really get to know yourself better. How so? Um, Enjoy your time alone is like a high, one from which you would come down from. Mm. But yeah, people say you get to know yourself better, but you was still, you still had your daughter there. So you still always responsible for someone. You still had to think about someone else's feelings and stuff like that. The difference is that your daughter is not going to hold. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you was in it when I was saying this. Your daughter is not going to hold you accountable, right? She's not gonna get on you about things you doing. I feel like a lot of times people who love to live alone is they don't like being held accountable for things they might have to correct and become better at. Personally, that's how I feel. I'm not saying that's you, but I'm just saying that's how I feel. So is it that you really getting to know yourself? Are you just, you was tired of somebody telling you? Because I feel like really you really could know yourself when somebody is showing you, is has a mirror to you. You know what I'm saying? When somebody's able to show you and point out the things, the flaws in you, that's when you take those things and reflect. How do you really get to know yourself truly? By yourself. Because no one is able to tell you your shit stink. No one can tell you anything about yourself. I can't correct my cleanliness if I think my cleanliness, I just throwing out something, is okay, it's satisfactory. Like, yo, this is good. How I got my crib is cool. But if somebody come in and they're way more organized, they could come in and then show me like, yo, you really not that organized. You're not that clean. You need to do A, B, and C. And then most people be like, oh man, they're getting on my case, blah, blah, blah. So they get aggravated. So then they say, I don't have the peace. You feel what I'm saying? Joshua responded back. He says, well, I think you meant to put well, I think also it depends on your age too as well. Um, First of all, shout out to Joshua for engaging. You know what I'm saying? Putting that out there. I appreciate you, man. And then Mom Dukes responded from saying, I like living alone because I'm OCD and I like everything in a certain way. The age is a major factor. Joshua, how old are you, if you don't mind saying? I'm gonna wait for that answer. Wow. Put these bets in. Age is a major factor. Okay, hold up. What's the age? Because I'm about to be 40. So I'm trying to figure out what is that age, Some people is older, but what happens when you're about 75? I don't know. Maybe it's a fear of mine. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a fear of mine. But I guess getting to that point is also a good thing too, where you just truly enjoy your company. You know what I mean? Like in the video, he was like, yo, being by yourself is a good ass time, right? So you just really enjoy your own company. You know what I mean? Me, I'm somewhat social. So I don't really like people, but at the same time, the people I do like, I really like. So I want to be around them. I want to talk to them, stuff like that. I'm not one to shy away from the people that I really enjoy to be around. You know what I mean? Um, 42. All right. So we pretty much in the same age bracket. I've been divorced for 7 years, and like I said, it was cool being single, but I don't want to be alone. You know what I mean? Like it's cool at times, sleeping by yourself, it's just I think it's just about finding the right partner. A lot of times is people don't want to put in the effort to find the right partner to live with. Um, People get in relationships wrong. They don't think when I get in a relationship, anybody who knows me knows how much I evaluate the future situations and how we gonna live together. 40 years old man and 25-year-old do not operate on or think the same. Yeah, that's true. But I evaluate how a relationship will work not based off of feelings. I think about partnership, the partnership portion, the how we would live together portion. You know what I mean? How would those things look? You know, could we be roommates if we didn't have any romantic interests, right? Could we still be roommates, right? Not saying I would be a roommate, but like I think about it like that as well. Like, could we be roommates? Because when you get a roommate, if you ever had a roommate, I never truly had a roommate, like a search roommate. It was people that stayed with me or whatever before when I was younger. But like a roommate, or actually, no, I did have one roommate. When I was 19, I had my first place and I had a roommate. And there's certain qualifications, right? You're gonna be like, oh, do you smoke? Okay, cool. Because I don't want somebody who smokes. Do you have pets? You could either be pro or against pets. Do you drink? And do you play music loud? Do you know, what type of food you cooking? Like all of these things I think about when I'm getting in a relationship. So just because I vibe with a girl and I like her and all that stuff doesn't mean anything. It's like, yo, how is the future going to look when we living together? Right? Where do you want to live? Do you want to live and do you want to live in the south, the north, do you want to live in a ranch? Do you want to live in a two-story home? You know, those things play a part as well. It'd be little things like that that people don't think about. They just think, oh, I'm in love. I like this person. I just want to jump in a relationship with them. When in all actuality, you got to think about all of that. You know what I mean? Do they want, like I said, do they want pets or do you have pets? How did the dynamic of all of these things play out? And then if I could see it like working out, let's move forward. You know what I mean? Are you a clean person? Let me check out your crib. But the best way to check out their crib is not check out their crib like, hey, I'm coming. Like when y'all get used to each other. You know what I'm saying? When you over there on a regular basis. Because, you know, sometimes people clean up if they know they have company versus when you kind of over there for a little bit, now you see, oh, they kind of messy. Yo. I don't want to be with this person. They messy. You know what I mean? So all of these different things, if you choose properly there, when y'all are living together, it's really not that unpeaceful. It's pretty peaceful, you know, to be able to come home, have your lady there, or if your lady have your man there, or if you gay, whatever, you know, for those people, just having that person there, right? You come home, you have that person there, you could talk about your day, or y'all can laugh together, y'all can watch your favorite show, whatever. Y'all can go to the gym or on a Sunday morning, y'all get up and y'all cooking breakfast together and all of that stuff. Yeah, you could do that stuff when y'all living apart, but um it's just not the same because you're not doing it every night. You know what I mean? So, but even sleeping, right? Does a person sleep cold? Does a person sleep hot? Those are things too. Does a person want to sleep with a TV on? Does a person want to sleep with a fan on? Like you got to evaluate all of these different things, and I think a lot of people don't do it. They just think, I like this person. They look good. The sex is good. Let's get in a relationship. And then they come to find out that, yo, this is not going to work because I don't like this thing and that thing and this thing. And some things you could not like and then say, you know what, I could deal with it. And then some things is like, yo, I can't deal with it at all. You feel what I'm saying? So I do believe that the older you get, if you are single, the relationship window starts to close. Yeah, I feel like that too. Um, I do feel like that too. But it also depends on the person, you know what I mean? But I feel like that, like from I'm gonna just speak from the men's perspective. I'm not gonna speak from the ladies' perspective because I'm not a lady. But from the men's perspective, you have the window is closed because a lot of times men don't want like you have some men that don't care what the age of the woman is, as long as she's, they enjoy being around her, like they enjoy having sex with her for the most part. Um, and she's submissive. They like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm not that type of person. I gotta have a connection with you, right? And the a lot of times, if I'm with a girl that's a little too young, a woman is too young. Let me say that. It's just not the same, like because we won't have that same connection. You know what I mean? We just in different spaces, so that already eliminates a lot. For some guys, it doesn't at all. You know what I mean? But then for me, also, I don't really want a woman that has a lot of kids or anything like that. You know what I mean? Or younger kids. So then that comes into play. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like some women don't have kids and they want to have kids. So it's like you restarting. Because my kid's a lot older now. So all of these things come into play. So it does limit your pool. And then I'm sure for the ladies that y'all have your own criteria. I just won't speak on it. I do believe that everybody wants to share the life with someone, because in reality, life is short and you don't realize that you get a little older. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sharing life with somebody is always good, man. Like at the end of the day, I mean, we're social creatures by nature, right? We're creatures that want to be part of a pack. So for us to not to say, yo, I just want to be alone, I think personally is more so from a I don't always want to be held accountable for certain actions. You know what I'm saying? I just want to kind of just enjoy this. Now, it's certain situations where you had a bad situation with someone, so that's why, and it could have been them. They really could have been more of the problem. You feel what I'm saying? But that's not everybody. They could have been messy. They could have been a snorer. They could have been a person that always want to have company. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be with a person that always wants to have company. I don't like entertainers. There's certain people, they're entertainers. It's not wrong with them being entertainers. I just don't want a person who always wants to entertain, so I like my house to just have the people that I really love in it. You know what I'm saying? Like associates and stuff like that. I don't want you in my house. Don't come over. Like it hasn't been a lot of people that's been in my house. It's been women, but that's kind of like in and out. They not like all through my space kicking up and shit like that. But I'm talking about like even some of my homeboys that I know and stuff like that. They don't come to my house. I don't let people come to my house like that. So I kind of I don't know. But I forgot my point. But yeah, oh, let me you were saying because in reality, yeah, life is short and you don't realize. Yeah. So just being by yourself is just something that, you don't really want to do. Let me go back to these comments and read some more of these comments. See if anything interesting up here. Where's the damn? I lost the video. Okay, here you go. It's 2,000 comments, and then they showed me the same few comments. Here we go now. Okay, it says, man, I live alone most of my adult life. Pros and cons to it. To live with someone means we really got to be best friends. I still need my personal space from time to time, but I want you to be in proximity so I can reach out and touch you if I need to. If it need be. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you do have to be friends. But it's not even just the friend part. Because there's friends that I have that we could laugh and joke together, but then I might not want them in my space on a regular basis. You feel what I'm saying? In my crib. So really, I need to just know how you live. Can we be roommates? Right? You don't want to be roommates with just anybody. So that's how you got to think. Can we be roommates? Then can we be partners? The lovers part, you already think you can be. That's why you choosing to even move forward and be in a relationship with them and move in together. But you didn't really evaluate, can you be roommates? Because that's what y'all are still. You're still roommates, regardless, right? So you got to evaluate that part. And the thing is, a lot of times, because you do feel like you could be lovers, and that part is great, people just overlook the roommate part. They're like, yo, we'll make it work. Nope, you won't. Because all of when the love died down some, and by die down, I'm talking about when you come off cloud nine, because like I said in previous videos, you can't live up there. You can't live at the mountaintop. You got to come down to a normal spot where you can breathe, where it's oxygen. The air is thin up there, right? When you come down some, now all of those little things that was getting on your nerves or you kind of overlooked, they are heightened. They are heightened big time. So you have to really think about, can you be roommates? How is it if y'all was not in a relationship and y'all was just roommates? Will that part work? If it will, okay, then now you good. And then you also have the partnership portion. The partnership portion will also be from, how y'all support one another. Can y'all, do business together? Y'all don't have to do business, but how do y'all support one another in the home as well? Like, and supporting the roommate part is like the cleaning, like, is that person clean and do they have pets and all that? But the partnership part is more so, okay, I see you need help here. You need my strength here because you are either too busy or you going through something. So I'm gonna assist you and vice versa. You feel what I'm saying? Solitude is bliss. That's what somebody put. I wish somebody said, don't threaten me with a good time. That was a woman. I wish I could see into the future, right? I'm sure we all wish we could. Because I wonder how many of these people who saying, yeah, I'm down for that, is going to feel like that 30, 40 years from now. Or they're going to be feeling like, damn, I should have secured me a person. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, to be alone in this scenario, you have to truly be alone. Some people just hear it as, oh, I still want to have a pet, or I still have my kids or my grandkids or whatever living with. That's not alone. Alone means alone. No one in your home. No one lives there with you. They could come visit, but they do not live there. It's not just about, a relationship. It means alone. And most people can't be alone because they'll get a pet or they'll have a kid, living with them, or their grandkids live with them. So that means, like I said, it means you don't really truly value being alone as much as you think. You really hate being held accountable, and you're more so selfish than anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to change certain things. And when it's somebody who is of equal tier to you, then you have to compromise, or to be a lot of problems. When it's your kid, you don't got to compromise like that. You know what I'm saying? If I tell my kids, yo, don't don't leave no dishes. Don't leave dishes in the sink. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure y'all wash it. But I leave dishes in the sink. They can't tell me shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you in my crib. You know what I mean? If it's a dog and dogs can't even speak. So, so they can't tell you. But if I feel like that with my girlfriend or spouse or wife or whatever, like, yo, don't leave any dishes in the sink. The moment I leave dishes in the sink, she can hold me accountable. Say, yo, you always tell me not to leave dishes, but yeah, you doing it. Or just anything. Or you tell me not to leave dishes in the sink. Well, I don't want you to leave the toilet seat up. You know what I'm saying? When you're in your own crib, you could be like, yo, I'm leaving. When it's you by yourself, I can leave the toilet seat up. So it's just the lack of wanting to be held accountable. And in today's society, really is at an all-time high. No one wants to be held accountable anymore. You know what I mean? So it's not shots to anybody who watching. You know what I mean? It's just my opinions. So I'm not saying I'm right. It's just what I think. You dig? But yo, this thing's going on for 53 minutes, and we've been having a lot of people in here. Yo, if you in here, damn, a whole bunch of people just did that at one time. But anyways, comment and tell me where y'all watching from. What state you're watching from, or what city. I would love to see where some of the people are watching from, and engage. Say something. If you got an opinion, say it. I'll read it. We keep it moving. What else? Somebody said all good until them senior years kick in. Yeah, that's what it is. Then they're gonna be like, yo, why don't the grandkids come see me? Please have the grandkids come over and see me. Nah, you should have thought about that when you was wanting to be alone. You gotta sacrifice. You can't have it your way. You just can't. It's like you're gonna, if you sacrifice relationship now, you will pay for that later. Whatever the relationship may be, whether it's with your kids, your grandkids, whatever. If you sacrifice relationship now, you're gonna pay for it later. So you got to find that balance. You feel what I'm saying? Yes, it says, please be self-aware enough to know that being with somebody, cohabitation is not for you. Instead of cohabiting and making someone else miserable because everything is not your way. I mean, yeah, You got to be aware of that. But once again, because everything is not your way, that means you don't want to be held accountable. You don't want to sacrifice, like it just is what it is. Someone's like, I'm open to healthy relationships, but being alone is so peaceful, especially when you're so happy with yourself. You notice too, a lot of the times, I want y'all to pay attention. If you one of them people in here that's down for being alone, right? I want you to really look at your call log on your phone. Look at your call log on your phone and see how much you spend time on the phone talking to people. Also pay attention to that. Because that's another thing. You'll be alone, but then you're always on the phone calling somebody, talking to somebody. Why? Because you feel alone and you still need to interact with somebody. You know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I don't know. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's been about an hour. This is my longest one. So all in all, if you are one of those people that like to be alone, communicate that with whomever you start dating out the gate. Like, hey, look, I really enjoy being alone early too. So if we were ever to blossom and a relationship becomes, more than what, it is now, I don't want to be a couple that lives together. I want to live separate. Let them know, because if you don't, they're going to have expectations, and then you're going to let them down. And you can't let them know once. You got to reiterate it when they're staying over a little bit too much, when they seem to make plans with you in the future, and it seems like these plans is y'all living together. You got to let them know, hey, look, I told you I don't want to live together. I said this from the beginning, and I said this repeatedly. Don't get your hopes up, because I don't want to live together. I want us to stay separate. All right, you got to let them know, because if not, you're stringing them along. You know what I mean? But also be careful of why you want to live alone, right? Is it truly because you really just enjoy your own company? Or is it because you don't want to either A, be held accountable, or B, like everything that someone does gets on your nerve? If everything someone does gets on your nerve, maybe sometimes you got to reevaluate what your patience and stuff like that. But if it's because you don't want to be held accountable, you're going to have to work on that, because you're going to get older one day. So that's that. But yeah, had a lot of people up in here today. At times it was, 10 at a time. I think I've seen as high as like 13. But I appreciate y'all watching. You know what I mean? Share it with somebody if you felt this was interesting. If you can, like it, because it does help the algorithm. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, because y'all know I'm going live every day. This is day 27. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.